On the 3rd of March 1986, Master of Puppets was released. The band wanted to experiment a little bit more with their sound to try and find something that they liked even more than their previous two albums. And this is the masterpiece that they have made. With the album opening up with Battery, then going into Master of the Puppets, and then Welcome Home Sanitarium, the album is almost a 10 out of 10. That's a lie. It's a 10. Unfortunately, in the same year, Cliff Burton passed away in Sweden due to the tour bus flipping over. His last performance was on September 26th. He passed away on September 27th. Frontman James Hetfield honoured Cliff by getting a tattoo of the bass line from Orion. This is my second favourite album by the band, and for today I will be trying to recreate the tone from Welcome Home Sanitarium. Master of Puppets has got to be one of the best albums ever to be released, ever. And that is why I'm going to try and recreate the tone. I'm going to try and go for the sanitarium type tone, um, mainly used in the intro um, for what James is playing. Um, or I might try and go for the actual distorted guitar. So bass tone at the moment. Needs more. I've done some research and I have found this. A page called the Gear page talks about the history about Metallica's gear between 84 and 93. Um, so they got Bride Lightning, they've got Master of Puppets, which is the one we're going to be talking about today. So I will be going off this, which is what they used in the recording studio, which is, as you can tell, a Mesa Boogie Mark II C++. You can tell how it's scooped there. It's got the EQ design there. It's got all the settings I need. Um, so let's go do that now. So with just me putting in the amp or the closest thing to it, which is the Mark II C+, this is what I'm getting. Settings are all on. Still needs a little bit of work to it, but we can work with that. So right off the bat, I am going to put a tube screamer in, along with a Stargate, which acts as a compressor. Turn that all the way down. Overdrive we want off. Levels and tone we want maxed. What I'm also going to do quick is put my dual on and then go and add in the Mark III, and then just put the exact same settings on as the Mark II C+. So I've now got both amps in with pretty much the exact same settings. The only difference is on the EQ, around this 80 hertz range. On here, on the Mark II C+, I've got around 7.8. On the Mark III, I've got around 7.5. And just quickly make sure these are in the right space. And then with everything at the moment, this is what we got. Already we're getting very close, which is very good. So as you can tell already, we are getting a very nice tone out this. I'm going to change the cabinet around to something that I prefer using, which is the 4x12. Where is it? 4x12 already I'm quite enjoying the tone that we're getting out of this. Few little tweaks we can make already. I think I'm gonna change the speakers. So what I've done here is I've changed the actual cabinets to the find it quick, blah blah blah, to the 4x12 closed modern, and then what I've done is I've changed two of the speakers in both of them. So for the bottom one, we've in the uh, Mark II C Plus, we've got the Brit 80s, which are already in them, but I've replaced the top right and the bottom left with the Metal V 1200, and then for the Mark III, I've done the exact same, but vice versa. So it's the top left and bottom right. Already, I'm really enjoying how this tone sounds. There's a little bit of reverb coming in from somewhere, so I am just gonna. There it is. Just make sure that's turned off. Just double check the back of this. That's off as well. Sweet. Right. The next thing I want to do is some EQ somewhere. So by the sounds of it, they actually scooped the high mid ends instead of the actual mids in the EQ. Um, on the actual amp settings itself, there was no mids, which I'm pretty sure this is the first time they got that iconic scooped mid sound. So let's try and stick with that. So after the cabs are finished, they are going through to this 7-band graphic EQ. I just try to mix it a little bit more so you get a bit more punch out of it from that low end. Scoop the mid slightly, but still there so you can hear what's going on. And I've left the highs just how it is. So already this is sounding very nice. So I'm just gonna add some reverb, maybe a compressor, um, and then hopefully we'll get what we need. So at the end of experimenting with a few things, trying different racks, different um, EQ settings, this is what I've came up with. So I've got the thresholder Stargate at the right at the beginning. If I turn it on, a lot of feedback, and that's with volume all the way off. With it on, it makes itself very known, a lot of feedback. We've got the Ibanez Tube Screamer pretty much, no overdrive, max level, max tone. For the Mark III, we've got volume on 8, treble on a pool 7, bass on a 5. We don't know what mids mean here, so they're gone. Master, we got 5 on the pool. Lead drive, we've got a pool 8. Lead master is a 2.5, and then for the EQ, we've got it the 80 set to 7.5. The 240 is set to 5. The 750 2.5. 2200 0, and then the 6600 is on 2.5. Now these are the exact same settings, just copy and pasted pretty much, which I love. It just gives that little bit more kick. Obviously, you're going to get a different tone out of both these amps altogether, so combining the two just makes sense. For the cabs, they're both the same, just different mic placements, same mics. If you look into the speakers, for the bottom one, going from the Mark II C Plus, you got the basic Brit 80s, which is what's in the 4x12 closed moderns, but in the I've just added the Metal V 1200s in there, same in here. And now for the what the cabs are going into, I've got a 7-band EQ just here, just a little bit more mids, a little bit more of the low ends. Dipped it a little bit there. Dead on the mids, I left it at central. Same with the highs. Uh, yeah, got a compressor, a plate reverb, another EQ, just so I can scoop that mids after this EQ here, which you can't see. You can see that though, it's fine. So yeah, for the second EQ here, I've just scooped the mids on here and then boosted it a bit there. Wanted a bit more of there. I've got some digital delay and a chorus, just because apparently James used a Boss chorus, I think, in the actual studio for this. So I wanted to try put it on a rack system like this, and it works perfectly. Um, this is what we got. So I very much like how this tone sounds. It's very Master of Puppets esque, which is what we're going for. The palm mutes are very. You can tell they're there, which is very nice. Obviously, the notes ring out very nicely as well. The chorus does a lot to this as well. If I just turn it off to show you, and then back on. Yeah, delay's perfect as well. Just gives that little bit more to the reverb. But yeah, this is my take on the Sanitarium tone. Um, I think I know I didn't nail it on the head, but with a little more tweaks here and there, I reckon I could get it. So even though it's not it, I'm still happy. So until next time.